Here in just a few moments, if we could get people to shift far to the right as you can, please silence your cell phones and we'll start the ceremony.
We'll get started in just a moment. Thanks everyone for joining us. Good morning again. Welcome to the 2024 Veterans Day ceremony. We appreciate everyone for joining us, our honored guests, and we'll get started in just a moment. Post the colors. Please stand. The rendition of our national anthem by Miss Keisha Jenkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, home of the brave.
Please be seated. Thank you. We want to take a moment to recognize our veterans who are joining us, both live and those who are watching us from afar. I'm going to honor our senior service, United States Army. If you're an Army veteran, please stand. Thank you. Thank you. United States Navy. Right. Any fellow Marines, hurrah? Thank you. United States Air Force. Space Force. Coast Guard. United States Coast Guard. Thank you all. We are going to take a moment and talk about the history of Veterans Day. Veterans Day really started in World War I or around World War I. It was known at the time as the Great War, officially ended with the Treaty of Versailles being signed in June 28th, 1919. However, fighting ceased 7 months earlier when a armistice was signed, or a treaty of cessation of hostilities, on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. For that reason, November 11th, 1918 is generally regarded as the end of wars to end all wars. We know that in November of 1919, President Woodrow Wilson proclaimed November 11th as the first ceremony of Armistice Day. The original concept of this celebration was a day observed with parades and public meetings and briefings, a brief suspension of business at 11 a.m. Armistice Day was primarily a day set aside to honor veterans of World War I. But in 1954, after World War II, had required the greatest mobilizations of soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen in the nation's history. And after armed forces had fought aggression in Korea, at the urging of veteran service organizations on June 1st, 1954, November 11th became a day to honor American veterans of all wars, changing from Armistice Day to Veterans Day. Thank you. Okay. Now, let's hear from veterans who continue to serve proudly in communities across the country. Their commitment, dedication, and lasting impact on our mission inspires us all. We're deeply grateful for their service, and we want to extend a special thanks to the Trusted Source Network for making this moment possible. We'll watch a brief video.
I served 4 years in the United States Marine Corps.
15 years with the United States Air Force.
30 years of military service with the United States Marine Corps.
Served in the United States Army for 5 years.
6 years, 10 months, 26 days in the military.
Did 22 years of service.
8.5 years in the United States Navy.
Served in the military for 25 plus years.
And I was in the military for 20 years.
I've been in the active Army for about 4 years, and I'm currently in the Reserve Army for about 3.
And 15 years, 8 months with the United States Air Force.
And I served in the military for 2 years.
What inspired me to join the TSA was an opportunity to still practice a lot of the skill sets that I learned while in the Air Force.
When I saw the job opening, I thought, it was another way of kind of giving back to the community.
Deep feeling of wanting to do something. And so I was just happy to have the opportunity to serve.
Saw the security officers and how professional they looked, and that made me want to join the TSA. And I asked one of the officers, how do I apply?
TSA has been a calling or a passion for me because my mom has been with TSA since rollout. She just recently retired. To me, it was a way to continue serving this nation after my years of service after I got into.
I think that veterans bring some unique qualities, having gone through basic training, whatever military service they were in.
The integrity, the camaraderie, and the teamwork that they bring together.
Leadership, adaptability, work ethics.
Discipline and situational awareness.
Loyalty, decisiveness, judgment, dedication.
And not only could they be used for great effect, but also they can open up many exciting career paths within the TSA.
TSA has been the best decision I've ever made in my life. I still get to play with dogs. I get to teach young handlers how to utilize their canines to ensure that the traveling public is safe.
TSA is a great way to keep your federal time rolling.
I'm at the twilight of my career, but I still have the drive to serve, so this is an option for me.
I'm still young, still healthy, and I love what I do. And so I'm going to continue working
for as long as I can.
TSA provides me the opportunity to share my experience and my knowledge with the new generation of officers that are coming up.
And it makes me feel happy to know that I've done something for the people of the United States.
As I share with my officers every day, I look at each flight as if I have a loved one flying out.
Every day I wake up, wear the uniform, and I know that I have a mission to complete.
It gives me that sense of purpose again by protecting my country and my community.
Making, not only the city of Austin safe, but the airways safe.
It is the absolute best job anyone could ever ask for.
I love my job. I love what I do. And I just want to keep protecting my country.
Serving until the day I'm done. I'm proud and honored to do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to our Deputy Administrator, Ms. Holly Canavera.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you to the TSA Dulles Color Guard very much, and that wonderful rendition, Keisha, by Keisha. Thank you. It's wonderful to see you again and have you here with us. And a special thank you to our MC, Chip Hallman. Chip, thank you. He is TSA's Human Capital HR Specialist and a 20-year Marine veteran. Thank you, Chip, for your service. We are gathered here to celebrate and honor the service and sacrifice of all veterans, including the more than 10,000 veterans currently continuing to serve their country with TSA. That includes more than 3,000 veterans with disabilities and more than 2,400 employees serving in the National Guard and Reserve. As you just saw in the video, Veterans Day began, and as Chip explained, as Armistice Day and Remembrance Day in some places. It was a day to celebrate when what was called the War to End All Wars finally ended after the sacrifice and heroism of Allied soldiers ended in World War I. So many of our soldiers never returned from those battlefields. It would be Navy veteran of World War II named Raymond Weeks returning to Birmingham, Alabama after the war, who envisioned a national holiday for all veterans. His tireless work to make it a holiday took nearly a decade, but it has clearly happened. For generations, and on this day, actually Monday, we honor those who honored our country with the highest form of service. Thank you for your continued service. You who once wore the uniform of our Coast Guard, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Space Force. And today, you wear the blue of TSA. We owe you our thanks, we owe you our continued respect, and we owe you our freedom. Your sacrifices and contributions by you and your families at home, in the battlefield, and in the far reaches of the world have more than earned our gratitude. They serve as an inspiration to your fellow citizens and as a source of pride. If you ever need a boost in humility or selflessness, please ask a veteran. You will find it. ASAC Corey Residlo will be speaking in a bit, but I want to take some time to talk about Corey's dedication to service and his professional journey. Corey has demonstrated exceptional skill in operational planning, leadership development, and organizational design. He has significantly advanced the mission of each organization he has served. Corey is a veteran of the United States Army, where he served as the Civil Military Operations Officer for Southern Baghdad, Iraq. He managed multi-million-dollar projects to improve infrastructure. Corey has private sector experience as a manager with American Express as well. In his current role, he is overseeing FAM's recruitment, hiring, and career services department. Corey has led initiatives to hire more than 700 diverse and qualified FAM candidates. ASAC Residlo has had such roles as the Supervisory Federal Air Marshal at the Los Angeles Field Office, the FAM assigned to the Field Operations Tasking Unit in Reston, Virginia, and serving as the Lead Operations Officer at the Miami Field Office. Corey is a prime example of how you can thrive and continue your service as a veteran. TSA is a great place to continue serving your country when you take off the uniform. The values learned in service are directly reflected with TSA's core values of integrity, respect, and commitment. And we're committed to continuing the hire of veterans at TSA. Our goal is to have at least 1 in 4 of our new hires be a veteran, to include 1 in 10 veterans with disabilities. We are steadfast in taking care of our veteran employees, providing resources and accommodations for more than 3,000 veterans with disabilities in our workforce. Our veteran employees bring tremendous value to TSA, including critical skills, vast experience, and a commitment to continue defending our country. And we continue to connect and support our veterans. In FY24, TSA participated in 85 job fairs and career fairs in support of veterans with disabilities and veterans hiring initiatives. Through our Disabled American Veterans Recruit Military platform, we are able to promote career opportunities within TSA to veterans with disabilities and transitioning military audiences seeking employment. Additionally, TSA partners with Hiring Our Heroes U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation. We've attended several career exploration and hiring fairs held at the Department of Defense installation. And starting this month, I'm very happy to report, TSA has a new employee resource group for veterans. Amy Robinson is the new executive champion for veterans. Thank you, Amy, and thank you for your service. We also have a new executive champion for ERGs for African Americans with Dina Thompson as the executive champion. And Raina Khan is the executive champion for the Disability Employee Resource Group as well. We're very excited to have these leaders guide these groups within TSA. TSA has a great workforce, and when we support our veterans, we have even a greater workforce. I want to take a moment to honor some of our own. TSA's recruitment and field hiring operations veteran point of contact, Mark Esrich, has been on active duty military orders for the past year, and he's been part of TSA for more than 20 years. He's been serving in Fort Bliss and El Paso, Texas. Mark has a unique background as a helicopter pilot, and he was called upon to serve as the flight safety officer for all helicopters supporting the Southwest border. He has been awarded with the Presidential Volunteer Service Award, and he's been inducted into the Army Aviation Order of St. Michael for his significant and enduring achievements for Army aviation in his career. We are looking forward to his return to TSA very soon. His service is something we respect and admire, and it's something that often doesn't get recognized enough. On Veterans Day, we acknowledge the quiet sacrifice of veterans, many of them found in the halls of TSA headquarters, at airports, in the field, and at a vast array of places where TSA works towards the mission. We can never really serve our veterans in the same way that they have served us. Our freedom's price is costly, but we can try. We can honor them in the way they have earned. Their stories, their skills, and their values enrich our daily lives every day. Thank you. And now a leader who also knows the importance of veterans within our workforce, Department of Homeland Security Deputy Secretary, Christy Kanagala.
Hi, good morning, everyone. That video was amazing. I got chills as I was watching it, just hearing firsthand from our team members what drew them to service in the first instance and why they continue to serve. And really, there's no greater calling. There's no higher calling than service to your country and service to your fellow citizens. And I know for many of the 16 million veterans in the United States, that calling is not a temporary calling. It's a lifetime of service. And I think what's so special about DHS is the way in which team members can continue to serve. We have 53,000 veterans serving across DHS, including the 10,000 that Holly talked about here at TSA. So as you all have a goal of 1 in 4 members of the TSA workforce being a veteran, that's something that across the department, 1 in 4 of our DHS civilian employees are in fact veterans. And I think that is something that is so remarkable and speaks to the imperative of our mission and the integrity of our people. Of course, that includes TSA's Administrator Dave Pekoski, who after a lifetime of service to the Coast Guard has continued his impactful leadership at TSA and at DHS. And we salute him and say hello to him. I think he's in Ireland right now, but appreciate his service. You know, every single day across our department, veterans are showing us what it means to put service before self and to do so with honor and with integrity. And DHS is stronger and the country is safer because of their service, because of the service of so many of you. So this coming Veterans Day, as we do every Veterans Day and really every day, we thank you, we honor you for all that you've done and that you'll continue to do on behalf of the American people. And we also thank your families who serve and sacrifice along with you. To be clear, though, the debt that is owed is not just one that can be repaid in words of gratitude and acknowledgments and on days like Veterans Day. Those are important to do, but we owe so much more. President Lincoln, in his second inaugural address, talked about two harder but more important responsibilities that we have to our veterans. The first is, quote, to care for him who shall have borne the burden of battle, and for his widow and his orphan. And indeed, the toll that service takes on our armed forces and on our families is steep. Earlier in my career, I was embedded with the Marines in Iraq as a DoD civilian, and I saw firsthand the physical burden of carrying 100 pounds of gear in 110-degree heat. I saw the mental load of having to be in harm's way every single day, be far from your families and your loved ones, and I saw the emotional devastation of losing the men and women who are serving alongside you to enemy fire and far too often to suicide. And then that happened in country and happens for many years after folks come back. And so we, as a department, are committed to ensuring that our veterans have the resources that they need in order to continue their service. And Holly talked about some of the things that you're doing at TSA and the leadership that you've shown, things like job fairs and career fairs specifically targeted to veterans that recognize the sense of purpose and the unique way that veterans are motivated to contribute to something bigger than themselves. That's something that we also across DHS are doing each and every day. That the new Veterans Resource Employee Association, I mean, the way that we can build community amongst us is so important, so that our team members can be supported as they look to grow and thrive across the department. And we're also working internally and with interagency partners to make sure that we can be streamlining and helping veterans ease access to things like PACT Act benefits and new tools that the Veterans Affairs Administration is putting in place. So, more importantly, Lincoln's kind of second point was that there is no better way to honor service than, and I'll quote him again, doing all which may achieve and cherish a just and lasting peace among ourselves and with all nations. And safeguarding our nation's, all that our nation's veterans fought for, safeguarding our safety, our security, our freedom, our liberty, our values, our democracy, that is the most sacred duty of the Department of Homeland Security. And so it is my honor to work alongside every veteran still proudly serving in our department, the 268,000 men and women who are working every day to accomplish that most secret duty. So thank you all. And most importantly, to the veterans in the room and the veterans that are joining us on live stream, thank you for your continued service to our country. Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our guest speaker, LAFAM's ASAC, Corey Residlo.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here. It is remarkably humbling to stand before you all today. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the Deputy Secretary and the Deputy Assistant Administrator for joining us today, and my Director, Belcher. So thank you for joining us. Brian Belcher. No first names, no. I also want to recognize the veterans in attendance and those watching on YouTube. Your sacrifices and dedication are really the way that they've paved the way for the freedoms we all enjoy today. And it means everything to us. And we're really gathered here today to honor you. And it's remarkable sitting back there to see how many people in this room stood up. And I know there's so many more people that I meet each and every day across the organization that have served in remarkable ways. And I'm so proud to be part of an organization like this. A special thanks actually goes out to our veterans' families. Those of you that are family members of veterans, you're really the backbone of our service members' journey. I've felt that with my wife when I was in Iraq, and I've seen it day in and day out. And there's not enough recognition that's given to the family members of our veterans. So thank you so much. And last but not least, thanks to everyone else who's taking the time to join us today. Veterans Day is not just for veterans. It's a day for everyone to stand together in unity and appreciation. It invites everyone, regardless of military affiliation, to pause and recognize the importance of service and commitment to our fellow citizens. When I was asked to speak today, I was extremely humbled and honored. But that quickly turned to the thoughts of what am I going to talk about? What do I have to offer? And oddly enough, a random image came to mind. And it's of me and my two colleagues, Captain Joe Volpe and Chief Warrant Officer Daryl De La Rosa. We're preparing for an operation in Baghdad. It's a day like no other, November 1st, 2009. And Daryl strikes up a conversation that I did not expect and tells me about a thing called No Shave November. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that, but it's a thing. So it was unremarkable, except for the fact that, well, I'll get to that. Let me hold off. So it's definitely a source of light humiliation for 15 years now. He proceeded to advise me that, well, actually, I debated him and said, "We're in the military, Daryl. We have to shave. I don't know what you're talking about. We can't all go get a medical thing that says that we don't have to shave." And he, if you knew Daryl, was prepared and ready for my rebuttal and yanked out the policy about the grooming standards. And for those of you that know where this is going, you can see I lacked imagination, but we can most definitely grow a mustache. So I'll spare you the details of my discourse of me trying to get out of this, but he convinced me sufficiently that I needed to grow a mustache along with everyone else in the room. There was 5 of us for the whole month of November. And I was a young 25-year-old. I was not prepared for that. So I talk about this for a couple of reasons, but for those of you that don't know, No Shave November began in 2009 as a fundraising campaign to bring awareness to men's health issues like prostate cancer and many other things. And as you can see, the mustache tradition died, but our commitment to each other and service continues as strong as ever. Studies have shown that veterans participate in community service and volunteer activities at higher rates than non-veterans. They leave the military service, but they continue to find ways to give back to our country and our fellow citizens. Their commitment to service, whether through community projects, mentoring, or simply lending a helpful hand, exemplifies the spirit and unity and resilience that defines our veterans. It reminds us that the bonds forged in military go far beyond the battleground. They become lifelong promises to support each other and their communities. Before we explore the significance today, I want to briefly share my personal journey in the military. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge that I'm not special in the conventional sense. I am not a Medal of Honor recipient. I am not a 4-star general. I'm just like many others who felt the call to serve and proudly raised my right hand, dedicating myself to protecting the freedoms and serving our nation. I served in the Army for 8 years, doing things such as serving on a multiple launcher rocket system at 18 years old, which was pretty fun. It's a tank and shoots telephone poles 300 miles away. So don't know why they let 18-year-olds do that, but they do. So I did many other things and had many other challenges. But I concluded my career serving in the U.S. Army as a civil military operation officer in Baghdad, Iraq, under General Petraeus and General Odierno. During my time in Baghdad, I experienced the profound challenges faced by our service members. I lost my entire team and my best friend, First Lieutenant Levi Barnard, in a suicide bombing. I share this story for the first time in public, not for sympathy, but to underscore the importance of recognizing our service members and their families. The impact of that day rippled beyond those directly involved, affecting countless friends, family members, and colleagues. It's taken me 15 years to process the trauma, often in silence, as I buried my feelings beneath a facade of toughness. I learned that it's not a sustainable solution. The weight becomes too heavy to bear alone. Fortunately for me, I had a remarkable support system, friends and family that helped me grow from that painful experience, and I'm beyond honored and privileged to have those people in my life. Many other veterans face similar challenges returning home, grappling with trauma that lingers long beyond their service. I am inspired by the progress we've made to destigmatize mental health. Yet I believe we still have significant work ahead of us to challenge the stereotype that seeking help equates to weakness. In my view, reaching out for support is ultimately a testament to our strength and our resilience. You know how it goes. They get mixed up. There we go. So, I think I really messed up. I think I know the speech by heart, but I figured it.
You say you'll find
What? You got? I saw that. Yours flips. Yeah. I'll recover. I promise. I've been through worse. Together as a community, I truly believe we can create an environment where every veteran feels understood, valued, and empowered to seek help. I encourage everyone here to foster or to continue to foster a culture that celebrates our unique circumstances, encourages health and wellness, and stands proud to support those in need. Each and every veteran serving throughout TSA, and I have to tell you, I was astonished. It's over 10,000. That's amazing. Has contributed to the freedoms and safety we enjoy today, often at great personal cost. To all the veterans listening today, if you take nothing from this speech, please take this. Help is only a phone call away. Do not suffer in silence. You served us freely for many, many years, and we're here to serve you in the same way. Although we are here today to honor those who have served, we must acknowledge the call to support them. Sometimes it's simply listening to their stories or standing by their sides as allies and advocates. Despite their courage and commitment, veterans encounter obstacles when transitioning back to the civilian life, much like the mental health issues I just spoke about and difficulty finding employment. Serving as the ASAC responsible for recruitment, hiring, and career services of the Federal Air Marshal Service, I'm constantly reminded that employment is a critical hurdle for our veterans. I speak with veterans across the nation on a regular basis as I travel to different events. And I'm keenly aware that despite their exceptional experience and their leadership training, they still cannot find meaningful employment. I truly believe more than ever that we need to continue to look for initiatives that create job opportunities for our veterans. Now I hit it under here. Okay, well, it's lost, but all right. Well, I'll finish it. So, okay. So I have to say, I'm so honored to be part of an organization. I didn't see it before. So I served in the field. I think you heard a brief history. I served in LA and I served in Miami. And as a veteran, I didn't know the resources that were available to me. Also didn't know the things that we were doing to recruit and retain our veterans, to get in front of veterans on a daily basis. So I have to say, I am so honored to be part of an organization that offers those resources, like we spoke about, from career fairs to community engagement to networking opportunities and job training. We have people in this room that are here on military programs that allow them to transition easily from the U.S. Army or Coast Guard or wherever they come from to TSA. And it's amazing that we're partnering with our veterans in that way. So I encourage anyone that's looking for ways to support our veterans to look no further than right here. There are countless ways to get involved in our veteran community. Each Veterans Day, I remind myself that this is not just a day for remembrance, it's a call to action. To engage in meaningful ways to support and engage with our veteran community. An opportunity to give back what so graciously was given to me and so many other veterans across our great nation. If I had one ask here today, it would be for everyone here to reach out to a veteran in their lives. Ask about their experiences, show genuine interest, and let them know you appreciate their sacrifices. Sometimes the simplest gesture, a heartfelt thank you, or shared moment in conversation can mean the world to those that have served. To all the veterans in attendance, once again, thank you so much for your service. Your dedication to our country and values inspire us all. I hope you always know how deeply you're appreciated and respected for your sacrifices. And to everyone else that took the time today to come here, thank you so much. It means the world to me, and it means the world to all the veterans across this great nation. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to retire the colors. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our ceremony. Thank you again for joining us today as we honor our veterans.